Hi, and welcome to the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram, and this is my bonus episode, WIP shaming. I hope I found all the things that I started, so, yeah. I think I did. I can't guarantee it though, but I think so. I did lock the thread, so I will be able to check who's the winner for my pattern giveaway. And, yeah, if you could see my surroundings, this is gonna take a while. I will do a little checklist and write down how much I have, socks and sweaters and blankets and shawls. That's what I've written down so far. So, okay, I will start with the one thing that's to my right. It's in this basket, and it is the green blanket for my son. I have talked about this in some episodes ago, like the beginning episodes somewhere. This is what it looks like so far. It's a green blanket that I'm knitting out of squares that I got. So, WIP number 1, it's a blanket. And it's not going to be the last blanket, I can tell you that. I really hope to finish all of these next year. Like that's going to happen, right? So, one blanket. And now, on to the big pile to my left. In this little tin basket thing, I have a shawl. Looks like this so far. It's called, I don't know, Death of the Moon or something like that. Yep, Death of the Moon by Josh Ricks. I'm using my hand spun and some drops alpaca. And I'm pretty far into this one, so that might be finished first. So, it's a shawl. Now, I don't know how to deal with all the stuff over here, or a better way to put it after I showed it. So, sock number 1. This is what I talked about in my last episode, my normal podcast, the socks that I wanted to start out of the leftovers from the little Viking, and I did. So, normal socks. DPNs like always. I don't know how much I should talk about the actual pattern, but like I said, it's normal, just normal socks, there's nothing to talk about. It's gonna take a while because I have to take everything out of the bag, put it back in, So, next up, in my Holland Handmade bag, I have the project for the Ripple Rock, and it's not started yet, so this is gonna go. Sorry. Now, no, that's gonna take a while. In another basket, I have a huge work in progress. This is the Aspen shawl. The Quaking Aspen, that's the name. It's out of handspun. It's a pattern by Calvone Woolens. It's just a simple triangular shawl with a knit-on edge. So, another shawl. Now, another big basket, and this one holds a blanket again. I have to stand up. And all the yarn that I need to finish the blanket. It's the Garde Squish by Stephen West. I'm knitting it out of commercial sock yarn held triple. So this is what it looks like so far. Can you see it? It's gonna be nice and huge and very heavy. I think I took out, I decided on 15 skeins of yarn for this. It's on a I don't know what it is. It's a US 11, an 8.0 millimeter. And yeah, like I said, it's the Garde Squish. It's a free pattern by Stephen West. And here's the rest of the yarn to go in here. And I don't know yet if I will keep this or if I will try to crank out a second one and give those to my niece and nephew who will turn 18 this year. I don't know yet. So, blanket number 2. Go over here. And I will, you know, show them properly and talk about them in length whenever I will work on them again. Because if I do that for all the things that, you know, are here that you cannot see yet, we'll be here in 3 hours. So I will not do that. Okay, my sock basket looks like this. And it holds a pair, so 1 pair of socks that I'm designing, but I'm not sure yet if I will write down the pattern. It looks like this on the back and like this on the front. I wanted to call them business up front, party in the back, something like that, but I don't know yet. So the second one is started and has been started for at least 2 years, and I have not worked on these. So another pair of socks. And of course, as it's my sock basket, there will be more socks. There is 1 started pair. That's all I have out of handspun, my own handspun. Just my normal 64 stitches, top down, DPNs, the normal shebang. It's one of my DPN cozies. And I think that's the last started pair of socks, which is awesome because that's only 4 pairs of socks, which is, you know, a new low for me when it comes to socks. Ooh. These cam snaps, they are tight. So, self-striping for my husband, 72 stitches. This is 3-use twisted in fiber. So, another pair of socks and another DPN cozy. That's it for socks. There's another skein of yarn in here, but I have not started it yet, but I will. So, socks are done. I'm so running out of space. Okay. Now, for my biggest work in progress, I think it's another blanket. And I have to show 4 pieces for this now. First, let me check it off my list. So, this is my sock yarn blanket. I started it, I think, 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm not doing mitered squares because I want to be able to read while knitting on this, and you know, for the mitered squares you have to knit stitches together, and I don't want to pay attention to anything, so I'm doing it like this. This is one of 4 pieces. I will knit each piece to a 65 by 80 centimeter size and seam them together. So that's piece number 1. And I'm working on this right now while reading upstairs on my Kindle. It's in a Kikiboo bag by Denise. So it's the first part for the blanket. I have started all 4 pieces. They are all quite large by now. So here's piece number 2. That's what it looks like. As you can see, there are some fish in here, and I started, I think, about 8 or 9 years ago in Germany. Everyone was knitting a fish blanket. It was like the thing to do, and I decided I totally wanted to do that, and I knit, I think, 18 fish until I discovered that this is never going to happen. And I found them, I think, last year, 2 years ago, and I put them in my sock yarn blanket. So, piece number 2, still the same work in progress. 1 big blanket. I'm using the sock yarn, just normal sock yarn leftovers, with a US 3, a 3.25 millimeter needle. And I really like the concept of this blanket because you start with however many stitches you want to. You knit in one direction until you think you're done in this direction. You bind off and you pick up the stitches on the other side. It's like a log cabin, but without any rules. So that's piece number 3. Oops. And piece number 4. This is in the large project bag from Knit Nation that I got when I went there to, it's a retreat in London where I went with my husband. So this is piece number 4. This is the first one. I started with this. So yeah, I'm working on this again. It was in hibernation for at least 1.5 years. I haven't worked on this, but I dug it out because I wanted to, you know, knit and read, and I didn't want to knit socks somehow. And this bag is full of leftover yarn, and I'm not able to show it to you. And all of the 3 low bags, where the other 3 pieces are, have some leftovers. So I only have to take one of the small bags with me upstairs in my reading room, so I can work on that up there without having to take the whole bag and, you know. So whenever I finish the leftovers in one bag, I will bring that downstairs, grab the next one, and so on. So that's what I'm working on right now. This will go back here, and this will go on the floor. Okay, now, next up, in a bag that I got from I don't know where. Oh, it's from A Needle Runs Through It. It's a Wonder Woman Batgirl bag. It's my boxy. It looks like this. I'm sure I showed it to you before, and it looked like this when I showed it the first time. So I have not worked on this in forever, and right now I don't want to work on it, so it will not be worked on. But I will knit this. I know it's, you know, it's rather small. I had finished it up to the armpits. I knit it up to the armpits, and it was just way too wide. I know it's supposed to be like, you know, wide, but it was not what I wanted, so I ripped it back and started over with way less stitches. Oh, and I have to make a thingy here. Okay, so boxy. Next up, I have another basket. Oh no, stuff is falling. Okay, basket. It holds the book which I'm using for the pattern. Looks like this. It's the Berkshire Dolman, and it's almost halfway done, so I should get going on this because that's might be nice to wear. So the pattern is by, I think, Melissa Verle. I have no idea how to say her name. I'm using different yarns, just what I had laying around, you know. So that's another sweater. You shocked yet? Because that's not it. Now, what I managed to throw on the floor is yet another blanket. This one is for my husband. I'm sure I showed it before on the podcast. This is mitered squares, but it's not leftover sock yarn. It's just sock yarn that I decided to use. I'm holding it double, and this is how far I am right now. So I will work on this. Maybe he will get it for Christmas in 5 years or so. So that was another blanket. It's not the last blanket yet. And now I have to, you know, roll out over here to get the rest. Now this is going to be interesting because all of the things I showed so far are things that I've worked on, you know, I would say in the last year. But there are some bags that I have not held in my hands in 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So this is like Russian roulette. I have no idea what's gonna be in here. So this another A Needle Runs Through It sweater box bag. And in here is something that I really want to finish soonish. It's another sweater out of handspun. It's not my handspun, it's handspun from a friend of mine. And it basically needs a button band and 2 sleeves. So I really should get going on this. The pattern is, I don't know. It's Stephanie Chappell, whatever. In her first book is this pattern. So it's another sweater. Okay. Now where to put this, because it can... I will throw everything on the floor and hope I will be able to get out. So in here, I'm pretty sure are the paper moon socks that I hate so much. Yes. I don't hate the sock pattern. I just hate what it does to me. These are toe-up socks, and I talked about those before. They should fit my foot. They are 4 sizes too large. They will not fit my foot. They will go to a new home. I might gift them to one of my husband's sisters for Christmas because it's their size. So I have both of these started. It's another pair of socks. And here I thought 4 would be it. I'm pretty sure there will be more socks in this pile over there. So let's grab this one here. Okay. It's a 3-bags fold bag. Box bag. This holds my husband's sweater. Can you see it? It's a sweater. It's a top-down raglan that I'm doing, you know. Why I am bothering to show you? There's nothing to show really. It's a top-down raglan, and it will have a huge cable pattern on the front. Dear camera, please focus back on me. Good. So, another sweater. Now, this here, I will not get it out. I've shown this before. It's my loop out of leftover self-strapping sock yarn, and I have to knit more self-strapping socks because it's not long enough yet. So you've seen this before. It's in another Holland handmade bag, and I have to add something here. Good. Next bag, bling your string, and I'm not sure if there's something started in here. Oh yes, there is. Some spare needles. I started a baby sweater like 2 years before I got pregnant, and this is how far I got. I just decided to use this yarn because it's left over from other projects, and I will finish it. I think the purple is not too girly for my son, so maybe he will be able to wear it, or I will gift it to someone who has a girl, because I doubt that this one will be finished in time for my son to wear it. So another sweater. Okay, now in my piddle loop bag, which I love, I'm sure there's a shawl in here. Yes, this is, let me take this. This is a shawl that I'm knitting out of hand spun leftover skeins, just, you know, the wee little skeins that I have left after projects. It's a Danish tie shawl. Like it has very long wings that you can, you know, wrap around your front when it's done and tie it in the back. I'm sure you all know how to do it right now because I told you. And I did such a good job of that. So this is, I would say, about halfway done because it needs to be really big before it's done. And I should get going on this because it's been on the needles forever. Like really forever. I'm sure I started this 6 years ago or so. So I should get it done. Okay, now that's another sweater. The bag is from my friend. She made it for me for my birthday last year. It's the I Days sweater by Cerelia Rose, and it looks like this so far. I started the back. I'm knitting it with Barocco Vintage Chunky in this purple, not purple, turquoisey minty color. And yeah, that's how far I am. This is the back. I think I'm knitting it large enough. I hope. I told you that I'm an idiot when it comes to knitting sweaters that fit me, so we will see. Now that's a sweater. In here is a pair of mittens that I showed not too long ago on the podcast. It's another design of mine. The design is on my side, and I don't want to show it yet because I don't know yet if this is gonna happen or not. So yeah, it's a pair of lined mittens, and I don't have a mitten column yet. There you go. The bag is from a local bag maker, and my mom got it for me a few years ago for Christmas. Okay. I think that's another pair of socks. It's in a zigzag stitches bag. Yeah, there is another pair of socks. These are the Rhiannon stockings. It's a pattern by Cookie A. This is the first sock, and that's how far I am. Yeah, I really should finish those because I love them, and I'm almost sure that I started those in 2007, 2008. Yeah, they are my oldest work in progress, I would say. No, there's one older, and it will come soon. So they are the second oldest work in progress. Thankfully my gauge didn't really change, so they still will fit. So it's another pair of socks. Okay, now another piddle loop bag. And in here is another huge shawl. This pattern is called Aluna, I think. It's by Anthony Casalena, maybe. It's a beautiful shawl, and I'm using 2 different colors of Wollmeise for it, and I really should get going on it. It's a gray and like a grassy green. Yeah, another shawl. Oh, phew. Oh, okay. I know exactly what's in here. In my matte art bag, this is my favorite bag ever because it's green and it's brown and it's perfect. And here is my even star. I did start this 6 years ago, I would say. I finished the first chart. Can you see it? Looks like this. It's a wee teeny tiny even star. I'm not going to rip this out because I totally will finish it. This is the yarn. It's just some German stuff that I had laying around. So yeah, the even star has been on the needles forever, and I just didn't find the time or, you know, the brain to work on it. So it's another shawl. Every time I see this bag, I get like a little bit of a bad conscience. Is that the word? There's only 3 more. So we're almost done. That's way better than I thought, actually. Ah, okay. That's another sweater. Let's make that. This is the Forest or Forester. Forester. It's a pattern by Nora Gone, and I'm using this nice Tweedy yarn. It's a top-down sweater, and it has this nice cable pattern. And I'm already done with the pattern, so the rest of the sweater will be plain stockinette. And I started this before I got pregnant. And then, you know, during pregnancy and the month after, I just didn't want to work on sweaters for myself because I didn't know if I will ever get back to my size. Because, you know, babies tend to make you grow a little bit in the wrong direction. So I put all the sweaters on hold. But I'm back to what I used to be, so I will work on my sweaters again. Okay. Now, in here, I have... Oh, this is the oldest, absolutely oldest work in progress that I have. I started this before I joined Ravelry, which was in 2007, so this is almost 10 years old. It's a pattern from Knitty. It's called Hip and Hemp. It's a skirt. It's a skirt. I'm knitting a skirt. I have been knitting a skirt for 10 years now. There are a million ends here to weave in. The yarn that I'm using is from Schoppelwolle, and I used to live nearby, and I got just a pack of this yarn, and they're all different sized balls in here, and yeah, so that's the Hip and Hemp skirt. My oldest work in progress, or UFO, because I have not worked on this in 6 years. But still, I want to finish it. I really like it. That's why I never ripped it out. And yeah, so oldest work in progress ever. Let's get it back in here. In a Knitting's My Bag. And I have to put skirt on here. I'm not the person for knitted skirts. A few years ago it was the lane splitter craze and everyone knit one. I did so too, and they looked like an elephant and it was awful. So this skirt is not fitted. It should be flary. And I hope it will be, because I really want to wear it myself whenever I finish it. So maybe for my 50th birthday in 19 years. Sounds good? Okay. My last work in progress. I can't believe it, we're already to the last one. It's another blanket, so let's make the blanket thingy here. And I showed this in my very first episode, and I think never again. This is the real... Oh, and I stopped in the middle of a row. I never stop in the middle of a row. This is really hard. Why on earth did I stop in the middle of the row? Huh. Okay. Let's show the other side then. So, this is it. Normal log cabin. After the Mason-Dixon recipe. With some Schachenmeier Baby Wolle, which is baby yarn. And yeah. I'm almost done with this actually, so... Whenever I'm sick of my sock yarn blanket, I will take this one upstairs to the reading room to work on while reading. So that's it. I can't believe it. I mean, way back there by the door, I have about 20, maybe 15 project bags with things that need to be frocked. But I took those out a month ago and I just never gotten around to frock stuff, so they don't really count anymore because they are already, you know, supposed to be gone. So that's it. Let's see. This is my little checklist. So there's 6 pairs of socks, 7 sweaters, 5 blankets, 5 shawls, 1 cowl, a pair of mittens, and a skirt. I hope I'm not making a fool of myself because of my really bad math, but I hope I did it right. It's 26. Only 26. I really thought it would be around 50, but it's only 26 works in progress. You see? of course, there are other works in progress in my house. I have a started spinning project on all of my wheels except for the Michi and the mini spinner, because I finished that one. But I have 2 started on the Joy, 1 on the Rose, 1 on the Bliss, 2 on the Sidekick, and 1 on the S45. So 7 started spinning projects. I have 2 started cross stitch projects because I cross stitch every now and then. And I have at least 15 started sewing projects. So there's a lot of started stuff in my house. But for knitting, we are at 26. So I will go over, and I did open the thread, and I hope this recording will just work while I'm not looking. And let's see who's nearest to 26. 29. Oh, there is someone who picked 26. Let's see. Yep, she's the only one. And it's Linda. It's Alum E. Cole. Linda, you seem to be a lucky person because you won something on my podcast before, and I'm ashamed to say that I'm still not. I still haven't sent it out. But I will include some more things for you to get it out. And you contact me and I will gift you a pattern of your choice. So it's 26, and I will just write that in here right now so we don't forget. Okay, good, it's in there. Let's close this. Okay, I hope everything worked. So, Linda, contact me with your pattern of choice and I will get that out to you. And I will get your parcel out next week, I promise. Life is starting to get normal again. And I'm not sick anymore. Thank goodness, because that hurts. Now, okay, this is it for my bonus episode WIP shaming. I will film, I have to get rid of this pencil, so, okay. I will film 2 more bonus episodes within the next 2 days because I need help from my husband to do that, because we have to, move the camera. I'm going to do the bonus episode for mixing yarn or fiber for a sweater, and I will do a craft room tour. I did go through my cabinets, through every single box, and I got stuff out for a de-stash, and I'm gonna show you just how much it is. So, can you see over there? This here, this is a baby bed, and it's like full of yarn. So, I'm gonna do a de-stash on my Instagram, or I'm gonna do an Instagram thingy for de-stashing stuff. So, okay. That is it. That's my WIP shaming. I think I will open a thread on my Ravelry group for the WIPs. I will write down what I have started so I can cross things off whenever I finish it. And I would love if you would join me. We could cheer us on. Is that a sentence? We could help each other out. Let's say it like that. Okay. Now, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again maybe in 2 or 3 hours. We'll see. Bye. Stop!